no numbers, there's no pictures, there's no videos, there's no gameplay. I don't like it.
Yo, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope everyone's having a good day so far. And today, Freemers, we are back with another Free Realms video. Now, this time around, I want to talk about a potential thing, an idea. Okay? And I'm going to read the blurb for you in case you've missed it, because these series of videos involve the blurb. So without further ado, we're going to read the blurb. All right? So, Free Realms Chatty Plush. Ever since we announced Palia, we've had tons of players tell us that it reminds them of a very special game from back in the day called Free Realms. Since launching, we've had a ton of players tell us that it brought some of that magic back for them. In honor of this, we've asked our friends over at Daybreak Game Company if we could put a little something from Free Realms into Palia. And as a homage to the current Palians, who still have that love for their time in Free Realms, you might find a somewhat familiar face, Chatty the Plush. Now, it's so odd that Singularity 6 would even mention Chatty, let alone, or mention Free Realms, let alone Chatty, because that would mean that, A, the rumor that someone, or there's people from Sony Online Entertainment that worked on Free Realms that work now at Singularity 6, or B, like, Daybreak told them about Free Realms, and, you know, Singularity 6 was like, whoa, that looks just like our game. I don't know. But for them to mention it made me think of something. We're going to keep reading here, and then I'll get into my little idea. Okay? From noon PT today until Tuesday, July 1st, anyone who watches 6 hours of their favorite Palia Twitch Drops-enabled content creator will be rewarded with the Chatty Plush. This is a way of us saying thanks to the games that came before us. Additionally, he'll be added as a drop in Zeki's Wondrous Machine from this patch onward. If you're not a Free Realms fan, then enjoy the Q Plush. But if you are, just remember that, like in Free Realms, Palia, you rule. Free Realms and Chatty are TM copyright claimed 2025 Daybreak Game Company LLC. So, Freemers, the thing I want to talk about is going to be kind of, it's almost like kind of jabbing the video where I talked about how Daybreak is not going to revive Free Realms. But what if, and hear me out. Okay, also, by the way, cute little dude. So cute. But Freemers, hear me out. Because Daybreak Game Company and Enad Global 7 own Singularity 6, that technically means that Singularity 6 owns the rights to Free Realms. In a way, technically speaking, they own the rights. Daybreak still owns the rights, but Daybreak also owns Singularity 6. So technically, you know, Free Realms and Singularity 6 are sharing an apartment together, you know? Which is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But in that apartment, they're talking, you know? I imagine so. But the thing I wanted to talk about is mainly, okay, and hear me out, Freemers. Because of all the, you know, we've had so many revives. We've had Free Realms well, I say we've had so many revives. We've had so many people try to do revives or not do them at all. Free Realms Rewritten, Free Realms Reconnected, Free Realms Sunrise, Open Source Free Realms, and whatever else is going to be announced for revives in the future. But, you know, it begs the question, because, you know, I'm sure Singularity 6 is probably tired of seeing all the bickering about Free Realms being brought back online. And they're tired of seeing the community bicker and fight, and it's probably getting annoying to them. And they want to see people come together, you know? Want to see people be friends, you know? And I would agree. But, you know, it makes me think, because of the success that Palia is now getting with its Elderwood update and all the people jumping on to play, if Palia ends up making enough money to the point of where it's successful on its own, and, you know, Singularity 6 doesn't have to worry about Palia anymore, is there a chance, like small chance, that Singularity 6 could possibly revive Free Realms? Now, there's another rumor going around that Daybreak, for some reason, would have the files for Free Realms on a computer somewhere. And to that I say, you don't know what you're talking about. But say they do, and they just give those files to Singularity 6. What if Singularity 6 just revives Free Realms, brings it back, and makes it to where both Palia and Free Realms can coincide as one, and you can play either game? I think that would be wild. Now, I don't know if they're going to revive Free Realms. I don't think they are, because I think, for one, Daybreak has enough projects going on. They have more things to focus on than they need to. They don't need anything else. But also, Singularity 6 is an indie studio, and Daybreak gave them enough funds to just focus on Palia. So depending on how their investment works and how profitable Palia is, we could potentially see a Free Realms revive come specifically from Palia. I don't know if that's going to be the case, or from Singularity 6. We could potentially see a revival coming from them. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. It's kind of up in the air. I would more so look at, like, obviously, you know, Free Realms Sunrise is the one I look towards the most, that I see being the more potential revive, but at the same time, it's like, if Singularity 6 could do it, and they would have the money necessary to do it, and the resources and the funds, if they had all these things and they could do it, like, what's stopping them? Nothing, actually, because the company that owns Free Realms owns them. Technically, they could just be like, hey, so Palia is doing really well. We want to venture into another MMO, run 2 MMOs at the same time. We want to bring back Free Realms. I don't want to say the conversation for that's happening now, but with Free Realms being brought up to Daybreak Games, with the chatty plushie being introduced into the game, it's not, you know, it's not impossible. Could happen. Could. Who knows if it will, though. But I just wanted to bring, I don't know, I just wanted to bring the theory up to, I don't know, kind of speculate and see if Singularity 6 would actually do something like this in the near future. I think it would probably be a couple years or so before we see any mention of a revive by Singularity 6, but I don't know, keep supporting Palia, keep playing the game and see where it goes. And maybe down the line we could see Free Realms finally come back in a legit way that we could spend money on, just play with our heart's content, and maybe even see consistent updates for. You know, so many unknowns, but I would love to see Singularity 6 try their hand at Free Realms and give it a bright future. I don't know, but anywho, that's going to be the video for today, but thank you guys for watching. If you did, as always, I appreciate it a ton, and I will see you guys in the next video, and yeah, goodbye!